long were you stuck or unchanged in some of these areas, and why?
So the interesting thing about that is once you're able to make one change in your life, there's this snowball effect that takes place where all the other changes are much easier, where all of them seem insurmountable when none of the changes have taken place. But as soon as one thing changes, it seems like all of them are possible. So one of the things that I did first, I think, was the celiac. That was something that, again, I didn't know I even had until I was 29. No doctor had diagnosed it. No doctor had even investigated it. They thought I had lactose intolerance. They thought, I don't know, that these were just symptoms or allergies from diet or just my body. Just that's how my body reacts to food. When I was actually able to get serious, and when the physical symptoms were getting so severe,
it forced you.
Yeah, I was going to hospitals with stroke-like symptoms. Like I was going into ERs and they were taking me right back, which is not what they do at ERs typically. I was getting taken right back in EKGs, getting all of these tests done, and they still didn't discover anything. But the process and the kind of physical scares that we were going through at that time caused my primary doctor to schedule specialists. And then I went through the whole ringer of every specialist in the book, neurologist, digestive specialist, hematologist, all of them. And it took a team to finally diagnose me with celiac disease. That started to change everything. Once I was able to have a concrete idea of one thing I could do to better my life was revolutionary. Like the fact that cutting out this one thing, gluten, could cause my health to start to be repaired naturally, where I didn't have to really do anything except exclude this one item, and I wouldn't feel as depressed and I wouldn't feel as exhausted after very, very low physical activity, was revolutionary. And that caused me then to look towards the other thing that I wanted to change was my physical form, my body. Like I said, 120 pounds, difficult to start anything because you got nothing to build on. I had no fat. I had nothing to even, people are like, you got to build muscle. And it's like, what? I was strong. I could lift weights, but nothing was growing because it had nothing to grow from. I had nothing to feed off of.
I remember when you were starting to work out and you would be done dinner and you'd be like, I am full, but I have to eat more.
Yes.
I'm going to eat more. Or like there would just be times where you're like, I'm not hungry right now, but I'm going to go eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I did a ton of research online on how to stop being skinny. A lot of people look up how to lose weight. I looked up how to not be skinny.
Yeah.
So very different experience. Everybody was like, eat more food. There's nothing, just if you're a skinny person out there, there is nothing that you can do to gain weight except eating more food. It's caloric intake. That's the only thing that will help you gain weight. And so I did that. And it was 2 smoothies a day. It was second helpings at dinner time. It was all that I could do to get some calories in. And I tried to stay healthy even in that period of making sure that I wasn't destroying my body to gain weight.
Yeah. You weren't like eating super bad. You were still eating well.
No. I've heard horror stories of people that, were in high school that needed to gain weight for football and they're drinking a gallon of milk a day and they're eating rice pudding and they're doing cottage cheese and I didn't do that. So it took a little bit. It definitely took a little bit for me to put on that weight, but eventually you get over a threshold and you're able to put on that weight to the point where I was a little fat. I was a little fat for a bit. And then I was able to kind of cut back on my eating habits that I had put into place to gain weight and kind of bring that back into a healthy place that I'm at now.
Yeah.
So figuring out the diet, being able to gain weight. Because another reason I wasn't able to gain weight, just for people that don't know about celiac disease, with celiac, it's an autoimmune disease that doesn't allow you to absorb nutrients through your small intestine, where you usually absorb nutrients. So I could eat all the healthy food in the world, take all the vitamins I wanted, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
So I was finally able to gain nutrients that I needed for muscle development and my body to transform.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. The physical started to happen. And one thing that's really cool too, all of these processes that I'll talk about with any area of my life, it started small. And I didn't know this at the time. I hadn't read Atomic Habits yet by James Clear, which tells you start small when you're trying to implement a new habit. Mm-hmm. I just gave myself a little bit of grace to just slowly get into stuff. I think a lot of people try to dive in and wonder why they're not there yet, or wonder why it petered out, or wonder why they couldn't sustain what they're doing. You got to start small. When I started working out again and started getting serious about that, I started with push-up challenges. Like I just went on YouTube, I found somebody that was doing a push-up challenge, and I said, okay.
I remember that. It was like, what, 100 a day or something?
Yeah.
Or was it less than that the first time you started?
I think there was a 30-day challenge of 100 push-ups a day. So I did that. Then the next one I think was like the Athlean X guy on YouTube had a 22-day challenge where it was different types of push-ups. Mm-hmm. And so each day you're cycling through different push-ups and you do that every week. I did that. Then after that, we're right in the heart of COVID. So I did a home workout app. I downloaded that on my phone.
I remember that too.
And then I started using those workouts just for accountability, to guide me through that process. And I was able to gain a lot of muscle in that way. That was also the fat period. But but then after that, I felt like I was at a point and at an experience level that I needed to go further past this app. It just didn't have anything. I was already doing the advanced workouts. I needed something more. So I looked into Center, which at that time I think was owned by Chris Hemsworth, was or Hemsworth, I think is his name, was one of the owners of this app. And, you know, I like looking like him. I would love that in my life. He's also probably a foot taller than me, but I tried that out and I loved it. Mm-hmm. It was really able to give me workouts and programs that had the trajectory that I wanted to go physically.
Yeah.
And that's really important too. I don't have any pictures of fitness people on my wall. I don't have anything that I'm really aspiring for necessarily. My goal was always just to be healthier than I was back then.
Right.
And I don't even know how far back then I'm going. And I don't even know how far in the future I want to go.
Yeah.
I just know I want to keep getting healthier than I was back then.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. And I think it's a more sustainable mindset than any goal. I want a 6-pack by this summer. I don't care.
Right.
You know, if I get to a 6-pack eventually, cool. I don't think I'm getting there.
I don't know about that.
We'll see. I got to lose some belly fat, which is a diet change.
Yeah.
You know, and once you get into all of this stuff for a long period of time, like now I've been doing the Center app for, I think about 3 years.
I can't remember.
Something like that. And
that sounds about right.
Yeah, because I've gone through several of the programs on there a couple times.
Yeah.
And they have everything from, do you want to build muscle? Do you want to get toned? Do you want to lose weight? They have kind of workouts for whatever your fitness goal is. Mine was just build muscle.
Yeah.
That's just right now in my life. That's what I want to do. If I want to switch it up and get a 6-pack, I can reduce the weight that I'm lifting and just go for tone.
Right.
You know, but I like lifting heavy. It's fun. It's fun. Another thing too that really helped me along that journey, and I feel like I'm getting in the weeds, but maybe this is helpful to somebody. Good. Is one of the things that helped me work out more was canceling my gym membership. I had a Planet Fitness Black Card membership.
For like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. That I didn't use. And it was great when I went.
Yeah.
Once a month or so. And got to use those massage chairs in the back and stuff. But it wasn't even that it was that far from my house. It just, for me, I wasn't able to focus at the gym. And I didn't like the commute there. There was just something about it that didn't jive with me.
There's a lot of effort going to the gym.
Yeah. But you know what's so interesting? So I canceled that membership, and literally a few weeks after that, I started my first push-up challenge.
And you didn't stop.
And then I just kept working out until this day.
Yeah.
So for whoever needs to hear that, sometimes just switching up your approach to the thing that you want to accomplish in your life can help. So for me, it was canceling the gym membership allowed me to just work out at home. And then I was able to develop a consistency there to where now I actually work out in my parents' basement.
Yeah.
Because I had a bunch of workout equipment in our bedroom, which was not ideal.
Yeah.
And then
it couldn't all fit. It wouldn't fit all now.
No. So my parents had a basement that could fit all my workout equipment. So I just drive there in the mornings, go through the garage, go into the basement and work out. So I have the commute now.
Yes.
Which is so interesting.
Even though it's like super close to your job.
It's close to my job, which helps. But what I'm saying there is there was a commute at the other place, but I hadn't developed consistency yet. I needed to change something in the approach to focus on consistency.
Yeah.
And then from that consistency, I can now navigate wherever I need to go. I feel like I could go back to a gym now and do that consistently.
Right.
Now, I don't love that concept because I've developed a routine and I like the silence. I like the just kind of being by myself and getting the workout done myself, where I'm my own advocate. I'm my own, edifier. I'm the person that is going to accomplish this thing. Right. And it's kind of a neat way to start the day. Like I accomplished this.
I did this.
So I can accomplish other things.
Right.
And that leads me, I'll kind of I could talk about working out forever. That led me to other areas of my life. I said that the celiac disease, the reactions from that, the autoimmune reactions, really put me into a lot of funks, really put me into a lot of depressive states. I wouldn't say I've ever struggled with depression as a diagnosis, but I definitely have experienced the symptoms of it through just the mental state that you get in when you have an autoimmune reaction. And yeah, that was really tough. That was really tough. That, coupled with being in a job that I didn't love, really drove me to some dark places mentally, where I would be very cold towards my family. I would be very unloving to myself. And it just wasn't a place that I wanted to exist in. So changing my diet helped. Working out helped more. And then I would say it wasn't until probably 2 years ago that I actually started working on myself mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
That was the final shift. And anybody that even goes back and listens to this podcast several years ago can notice a difference in my demeanor then and now.
Yes.
Like there's a radical difference in the way that I act towards people, in the way that I speak, in the way that I desire to answer questions. Yeah, just a radical difference because of that work that I've been doing on my mental health and my emotional health.
Yeah.